To begin, there's an unused cell called Great Khan Cave. The cave was never finished, so it's difficult to speculate what it was intended for. During the quest Climb Every Mountain, the player has to search several Great Khan supply caves. So it's possible this was an additional supply cave, but it doesn't follow the same naming convention. Perhaps it's a remnant from when Red Rock Canyon was larger in scope. It was once planned for the player to join the Great Khans, but first they had to pass an initiation ritual. Despite being cut, this initiation is still referenced on multiple occasions throughout the game. Part of the quest, Crimea River, revolves around helping Jerry the Punk pass this initiation, as he's already failed it several times.
Everybody has to do it. Well, everybody who wants to be a Khan anyways. They toss you into the ring there and beat on you for a solid minute. If you survive, you're in.
Sergeant Bitterroot also mentions it.
You're not fully grown till you've taken a beat down. Everybody gathers around and hits you till you're damn near dead. After that, if you haven't begged for mercy, you get to choose a new name. One you'll use for the rest of your life. When NCR slaughtered the Khans of Bitter Springs, I hadn't got my beat down yet. I was still too young. The way I see it, Bitter Springs was my beat down. So afterward, I gave myself a name.
The Vault 19 Powder Gangers have to pass it in order to join the Great Khans during their quest line.
I'd rather not, but fair enough. We'll do it.
One of the loading screens references it as well. The quest would have been given by the NPC Great Khan Rightmaster. This NPC still has several player lines, all regarding this cut quest. These options are particularly interesting as they suggest there was a way to gain the upper hand during the ritual. After starting the quest, the player's inventory would be placed in a footlocker before you fought several Great Khans in unarmed combat. There are also Great Khans who were meant to appear training inside of the ring, but they're disabled. These likely would have been the enemies you faced during the initiation. It's a shame this was cut, as it was clearly intended to be an important aspect of the Great Khan's lore. Like the NCR and Legion, it was planned for the Great Khans to have a reward safe house for achieving idolized reputation with the faction. After the reward NPC was cut, his voice lines were, for whatever reason, given to generic Great Khans, and you can hear some of these lines in-game. An early version of Papa Khan remains in the game files, wearing 2 pieces of unique, unfinished armor. He also has an unused AI package to wander around Quarry Junction, which suggests that he was at one time planned to appear with the other Great Khans in this area. Finally, there's an unused vomit marker outside Papa Khan's longhouse, suggesting that there were supposed to be wasted Great Khans stumbling around Red Rock Canyon, like the NCR soldiers on the Strip. These changes would have made the Great Khans a much more engaging faction. Ultimately, though, all of this was left on the cutting room floor.